Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio on this? Yes, thank you. Okay, good morning, everybody. This is Marilyn, and this is the morning edition of Welcome to My World. It is the 5th of January, so this is a Tuesday of the new year. Yesterday, did we notice a lot of movement in the markets? Wow. Uh, the the thing about that yesterday, and this will continue, so it was a very good lesson for all of us to pay close attention to. It's one thing to pay attention to the U.S. economic numbers, but yesterday gave us all a really good lesson in paying very close attention to what's going on with the international uh, marketplaces. China they had a real bad hair day to start off 2016, and it uh, spilled over everywhere, and so it it will behoove us all. I know I find it very interesting that Chinese are a little hesitant about all this free market stuff. They think they want to control, but they put the circuit breakers into market, their stock market, modeled them exactly after the U.S. And it's probably a good thing they had those things activated yesterday because that's what shut their market down. It started falling, and at least they got it stopped from going past the basement. Anyway, it's just a heads up that I think it would behoove us all pay a little closer attention to what is going on around the world because these markets are so interconnected, and it will help us get a grasp. This morning, the uh, the DAX is up, and it has been on a real strong movement up this morning. The reason I mention that is because that's an indication, at least, of what to expect. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Absolutely does not mean anything. You trade what you see. But the expectation is that the U.S. markets will follow the European markets because they open earlier than ours. So pay attention to what's going on in Europe also. It it starts in one place and goes right around the globe with the sun. So anyway, right now I think we're about 1 minute into it. There's good Canadian economic numbers out. The Canadian dollar is the commodity currency that trades with crude oil, and we've had crude oil in a pretty tight range, both Brent and West Texas, which is what we trade, for the last 2, 3, 4 hours. Hasn't moved too much, but at least what's encouraging to me is um, I know a lot of these talking heads are talking about how crude oil is going to, go to 20 and it's going to go to 15, and it's, well, I don't know what it's going to do. I mean, they don't either, to tell you the truth. But one thing I do monitor is the back month contracts, and we are still in contango with both Brent and West Texas. So that's at least telling me that it just the talking heads that think that it's possible they could be wrong. Anyway, we have the dollar has had a real nice run up, and although it's very tight along with the euro, the trend has been up. Doesn't seem to be very strong. None of these markets seem very strong right now. The VIX yesterday got up to well over 24. It closed yesterday afternoon at 2070. So we'll see if it backs off a little bit. Then we may see the U.S. indices recover a little bit of their loss from yesterday. And having said all that, this is about all I see right now that might affect anything. Just don't get caught up in all this news and what this one says and that one says and whatever, because in the short term, it's not going to affect the way we trade. Look at your charts, follow those indicators. Apex stuff is incredibly accurate. It's a matter of you picking a strategy, picking a market, and then use the strategy that's the easiest for you to see. I personally like to use the diagnostic chart, which I think we're now calling the C's chart. Lori came up with all this great stuff that I would never have seen in my own, never, ever in 1,000 years. But it's extremely helpful. I really like that stuff. The sharpshooter, what I like it the most for is the chop warnings. When you see those little yellow candles, probably want to pay attention to taking a trade right in there. Might be a better opportunity somewhere else. But some of you are having great success trading that strategy, and I believe now they have been working on a cheat sheet because the rules are very specific for trading with that chart, and I believe it's been posted in the forum. But those cheat sheets, if you're trading that strategy, I would have that right in front of me and keep it there for as long as it takes till that is, you just are on automatic pilot with it. Because it's too easy to start talking yourself into and out of assorted things. And when you've got a cheat sheet and you can sit there and say, yes, it did this, yes, 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 for every single thing and tick them off, then wonderful, take the trade. I think that's about it. I was hoping gold would make a little more movement, but it's a little disinclined to move. Of the U.S. indices, the YM seems to be the strongest right now of the morning. So it's got another almost hour until the open outcry opens, and we'll see what happens. So until then, pay attention to what your charts are telling you, and we'll have another wonderful day like yesterday. So I'll come back about noon and we'll talk about whatever trades may and may not have turned up for us. This has been my view from my world in Apex land, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll see you about noon. Thanks.